jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports,
WCS on deck once again. Shout out to everyone that's in the building. This live right here, man, is pretty much an update, man. It's a mandatory update. Just for the listeners in general. You know what I'm saying? Because the listeners have a wide range of areas that they can go to on the social media and listen to, you know, certain information being distributed, right? So, you know, I feel that it's okay for me to go out here and make sure some of the information, if it's distorted, then I'm able to clear it up just a little bit. I think it's mandatory. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, for me, I think it's mandatory. Reason being is that sometime or another, someone's going to try to bring that to your front door. They're going to try to bring you a question. They're going to try to bring you information to your front door. And then they're going to ask you to verify the shit. And they just don't understand that, you know, any information, you know, real information that's pertaining to a big fight, I really take my time. And ask around and try to find some anchors out there, some deep anchors out there that are legitimate, authenticated, validated. You know what I'm saying? I just don't sit up here and follow the wave on everybody who dropping me shit in the DM and say, the fight's happening November 19th. The fight happening. You didn't know. I said the fight ain't happening. You know, and when you try to, you know, kind of throw like a little soft bet out there just for giggles and shit, they don't want to do that. But they'll sit up here and argue up and down that a certain fight date is going to happen. Now, one thing we shouldn't take serious, right? Especially if you're not a betting man when it comes to how the game of boxing works from the inside out. There are certain voices on the inside of boxing that will play the game right along with everybody else, man. We're talking about high-powered individuals that you would say to yourself, well, they don't have to play the game. They don't have to sit up here and give false information. They don't have to do that. They're where they are for a reason. Well, you would think that's the case, but that's not exactly true, man. You know what I'm saying? We've seen that with Mauricio Suleiman. You know what I'm saying? I know Steven Espinosa has been on record as sitting up here talking about the November 19th date is not dead. And I'm telling you, y'all, look, I'm telling you myself. How can something be dead and it was never living to begin with? Just because somebody get on here and say, oh, that's all projection. Nothing said that this date was popping off like it was in stone. They had a venue. Why would they put a date out there? Why would they put a date out there in the contract and everything? Negotiations not even been fulfilled yet. It sounds good to keep the free promo and the attention on the fight. It sounds good, but the date was never alive. You know what I'm saying? The date was never alive. You can't say it's not dead yet when it was never living. The only thing that gave it a little bit of pulse is the people that mentioned that it might be, or is it looking? It's looking. I hope we learned a valuable lesson about looking. It's looking. It's looking. You know what I'm saying? That shit was looking stupid because that shit came out. Look, you got to understand what boxing is. It's a hocus pocus. I try to tell you all. I did a live on and I say, man, boxing is full of hocus pocus. And the magicians is not just the fake news carriers out here on the social media. It's also the people that's insiders. Some certain people that's on the inside, they play these games too. It keeps more attention for free on them. It keeps them talking. So everything that comes out, everything they do, every move they make, people are paying attention to it. It's free publicity. Seriously, it's free publicity. This November 19th date, man, it's done. It's done, sir, done. Remember what I said. That date is done, sir, done. Remember that. Don't think anything else about it. It's done. Toby on deck, what's good? Salute WCS in the chat. Michael Johnson, what's good? Salute, brother. It was all a gift that folks wanted to come true. That's what it was. I seen people jumping on people platforms talking about, hey man, they fighting. It's gonna happen. They fighting. And see, you know, these are individuals that cite. They claim to have sources on the inside. They claim to know people. They claim this, that, and the other. But you cannot claim a receipt. Just give a receipt that the fight has been agreed upon contractually. You know what I'm saying? Y'all hold on for a second. Let me take this food off. Yeah. So when I was doing lives and everything, right? And I was telling y'all not to listen to fake news. I wasn't just doing it for play. Like, you know, I don't know what else to tell you. In this lifetime, you have see blind individuals that will pretty much they'll know that you've been on track. They'll know that you linked up with people, but they want to look at the views you get and they think, hey, in order for somebody to be important, they should have a whole lot of views on their channel. And that's not the case. Like, there's a lot of people that don't frequent YouTube a lot. I'm not trying to make this a showbiz type of deal. You know what I'm saying? But I am engaged with the sport. I do interact with people in the sport. And that's my main focus. My main focus is not to come on here every day and do, 10 videos and make a living off this shit. That's not what I'm here for. But I've been on record. I stayed on course in my lane about this November 19th date. Now, anybody else out there trying to validate as if they broke the news first, no one on YouTube broke this news first. Let's get that established first and foremost. Nobody on YouTube broke this news first. Nobody. When the news came out, it didn't come with a confirmation that Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence had absolutely cleared everything up and it was signed. First and foremost, when that looking or closing and they was talking about November date now, you should automatically thought to yourself, okay, what about the contract though? Are they finished? Because that's not going to move forward to anything unless this shit has gained any type of ground or traction to being finalized. And come to find out, It wasn't finalized. Who made reservations? I would rather them, show some receipts where they made reservations. You know what I'm saying? Whether you're going through M life or whatever the case may be, did you make any reservation for this fight? Because if by chance, if I would have believed the individuals that was telling me, oh, you going to the fight, you need to lock in November 19th. That's what you need to do, November 19th. I didn't even flinch. I say, okay, if you believe, go ahead and lock your reservations in. If you believe that's what it is, lock your reservations in and you good to go. All I'm saying to my listeners is I don't try to sit up here and be first. And I don't definitely try to sit up here and act like I have to be second. You know what I'm saying? I may not be first, second, third, or fourth by choice. I'm not up here trying to drop news, but I want to make sure the news I do drop, people respect it enough and is validated. But I also have found out in this era that there's a lot of individuals that love being lied to. You know what I'm saying? They love it, bro. They love the dysfunctionality. They love being betrayed, deceived. They love this shit on social media. Real talk. Real talk, man. They love being lied to. They love hearing information to play around with the game and then come back full circle. The information is incorrect. And they're like, man, it was good to be on the journey, though. It was great to be on the journey. You know what I'm saying? Thanks for lying to me. Yeah, the journey was great. I felt like I was a part of something. I'm not trying to take you on no journey unless it's the destination is where we're all trying to go. I'm not trying to take you on a journey and then tell you to open the door while we're moving and say, hey, look that way. That's some good scenery. And then you before you know it, you feel something kick you in the head and you rolling out the car and shit into the pavement and see tail lights pulling off. I'm not trying to goddamn kick you out on the journey. The information I get, I'm trying to take us all on the journey to where we're trying to go. But newsflash though, don't think or get your hopes up that this fight is happening in a short period of time that you want it to. Don't even think that. Don't think this shit is happening anytime soon. Look, this is one of the biggest fights in boxing, right? For undisputed. Why would you put information out? I'm not talking about nobody on YouTube. We're talking about Stephen F. Fidosa. Why do you say the fight day isn't necessarily dead? And have those individuals grab hold of that and believes that one of the biggest fights in boxing doesn't deserve more promo and more build-up, more press tour. It's one of the biggest fights people are talking about. And you're trying to tell me you're going to give it this much of a window, this little press tour? It's the biggest fight. You're saying it's the biggest fight in boxing. And you're going to tell the people November's next month, right? You're going to tell the people from November 9th, which is already over damn near, you're going to tell us that possibly this fight will happen. Now let's dissect some things. Let's do the process of elimination. There's still people. We're not in the bubble no more. It's not the pandemic. So people want to attend this fight. So being that we have people coming from all walks of life, don't you think they have to make plans? It's the holiday season too. Don't you think PBC wants to maximize? Showtime would like to maximize not just the viewership from pay-per-view, but the viewership for the sale of the tickets. Right? How are you going to be able to do that this close on the holiday season? We're about to close out 22 and go to 23. And here we are, one of the biggest fights, and people's just going to drop what they're doing and go to Vegas? No. Number one, no, they're not going to do that. They're not going to do it. They need to have ample amount of time to make these reservations to be able to attend the fight. And that's not easy. Number two, not everybody during the holiday season, not everybody is single. I'm saying you have people out here with kids, you know, plus they got to get their finances straight to make sure they can even afford the, if they plan to see the fight in person, to even get the finances straight to be able to afford the all the expenses, lodging, eating, tickets, all that shit to attend the fight. Y'all have to play that in your head right away, immediately. Why would they want to jeopardize people just saying, fuck it, I can't make it. I can't make it. I can't make it. I can't make it. It's too short a notice. No, people want to hear a projection. They want to know that it's certain. Once they know that it's fucking certain, and the contract especially is done. The contract is done. You know what I'm saying? Once they know that, hey, the contract is done, the fight date is locked in. It's going to be an official announcement. Boom. The first press is going to be this day. That's when people start making reservations. But with this Crawford Spence, it's been speculation. It's been speculation. In order for the consumers to make reservations, it cannot be based off speculation. It cannot. We're still talking about negotiation. And the negotiations have yet to reach finalization. So there's nothing to seal this up as to why we should be listening to Espinosa tell the people, hey, it's not totally dead in the water. What? It has to be dead in the water, else you're sabotaging yourself. What's all this back end money that Spence is going to get? How is that going to happen on short notice? Vegas is not just a hop and a skip, and people going to get on their scooters and ride up through Death Valley with a motherfucking small plastic ball of water in their shit. They're not riding scooters through Death Valley up to Vegas. The planning process for this fight, it has to provide ample amount of time on the calendar for the consumers to pre-plan to maximize them showing up to the fight for these ticket sales so the venue can sell out. They can sell out a venue with this fight if it's done correctly. They can sell out this motherfucker easy. We know if it was in Texas, the shit will sell out. For the allotted tickets that it has, it will sell out. It will sell out. But it's in Vegas. Vegas is much more expensive. You know what I'm saying? Vegas requires pre-planning. Vegas requires finance. Vegas requires reservations, man. It requires a lot of avenues that has to be taken serious. So all I'm saying is it sounds good, but don't believe it. Because some of the gamers are on the inside just as well as the outside. All the magicians, they're on the inside just as well as the outside. They're all a part of the Hocus Pocus magic show. Don't ever forget it. Shout out to my guy, Shaw News, the Sauce Experience, aka Showtime. On deck. What's good? Don Vaughn on deck. People have a fantasy, so they have something to talk about. All the drama. That's what it's about, bro. That's what it's about, Don. Drama. They love being lied to. Hey, Shaw News, you already know what it is, man. I know what you meant. You already know, bro. That's what I was thinking. How can you promote this fight as much it would need in about 40 days? You can't, bro. It's people that has to make reservations in order for them to basically maximize revenue, any type of profits, anything they got, price points, all that. They have to do it thoroughly. They have to do it proactively, bro. They can't be reactive on one of the biggest fights in this damn sport. They can't do that. They can't make this shit like, well, we're going to still keep the fight date open and we're just gonna leave it up to the consumers to show up. No, man, they're gonna lose money. Another reason why I say they can't do this in a short window, because if you haven't seen, PBC is putting damn near every fight on pay-per-view. I didn't say ALL. I said damn near. I didn't say ALL. Damn near. The reason why I heard that was the case, because if you do your research, fighters were being overpaid during the inception of this company, this LLC. And they lost a lot of money over the years. So right now, people are being held accountable for that money being lost, and they want to get that revenue back. So when it comes down to certain fights taking place, you asking yourself, scratching your head like, damn, why is this fight on pay-per-view? But no one's asking that question about Spence Crawford. The only questions, everybody's trying to find out is when everything is going to be, confirmed with the negotiation process, being that everything has been completed. Okay? Completed. Not almost, not nearing, completed, done, sealed. No speculation, no compunction. It's done. That's what we're trying to hear. We're not trying to hear something to bring people right back to the guillotine just to chop their head off again. You keep on showing up. Oh, you're smart. You're not going to learn, huh? Put your fingers on that now. We already got your head. Put your fingers on there. You know what I'm saying? Stop leaning in heavy to this news. When the shit break, believe me, it's gonna be like goddamn glass, bro. When this news break about Spence Crawford, first of all, we're gonna have a clear understanding that the negotiation process is completed. The fight is signed, sealed, delivered. Then you're going to start hearing about the official announcement, the first press tour, where the fight's going to be, what date it's going to be. Everything is going to start trickling down, man. Just like Ian. It's going to roll in this bitch like Ian, dog. Then everybody be happy. Oh, about time. Then we can have some justice. We can start really paying attention to what's signed, sealed, delivered, and what reservations and plans we should make. That's where we at with it. That's where we at. That's what y'all should be waiting for. But for whoever want to act like they was first, you wasn't first. Nobody was on here was first. And then if someone, are correcting those who was flying with this date, I'm not one of them. But if you was flying with this date, you should be held accountable too. Because if you was sitting up here spreading this agitprop to the people as if November 19th was the next date, then you just as guilty too, because you wasn't patient enough. And I understand some of y'all don't want to be patient because you hear other channels putting out the information, so you feel that you want to be at the start of the line. You want to be right behind the pace car. With this news and information about boxing, sometimes you just got to ask before you post. Ask, verify, ask. You just can't sit up here and be rambunctious. But the thing about rambunctious, right? Rambunctious is a freaking, I want to call it a disorder. But rambunctious is a choice people make when they don't give a damn about anybody except themselves. You know what I'm saying? They would be rambunctious enough to go just off the first word they hear and put that shit out to the media. And then turn around, they'll put a whole nother, video out again with the same shit they just talked about over and over and over and over and over again, repetitively. And then news will come out that information isn't correct. They don't even apologize. They don't even goddamn recognize their audience putting out false information, bro. If you was riding with November 19th, after no one said the shit was done, No one told you that the contract was finished. No one told you that. But you want to ride with the date. Like, hey, the contract is just gonna, you know, it's just gonna clear itself up. For real. You know what I'm saying? It's just gonna happen. But is the contract finished? Not right now. They're in the process of making that all work out. They're gonna have that finished by what date? I don't know, but from what I'm hearing, the contract should be done in a matter of days. A matter of days, as in what? What's the count? What's the count of days? I don't know. I can't give you a specific number, but they're working on it. Like, how close are they to be done? I really can't tell you that. Okay, shut the fuck up then. If you can't tell me all that shit, the fighters have to have a contractual agreement first before people are locking on shit and passing it out to the public. Oh, it's going to be in Vegas. It's going to be at this arena. Lock in your dates. And the fighters haven't even finished signing the contract yet. They haven't agreed on everything. I will tell you this. One of the most hilarious parts of this is when they said that the fighters have agreed on everything, but the attorneys is looking it over. So you're trying to tell me they pay money for these attorneys to be the second wave? You know what I'm saying? They pay the attorneys not to look it over first and advise them of language that may be inaccurate or against their benefit. They let the attorneys read the shit after they read it. So they read it, they look at it, they agree on everything, and then they pass to the attorneys. I did everything you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? So you just let me know what you think. That's not the way it works, people. That's not the way it works. I think more than 40 days. People could have stuff already booked up now. This is the way I look at it. I'm gonna try to decipher what you mean by that. So if you're saying people like us, the consumer, yeah, we could. If the shit was already done and the date was locked in, but we haven't been able to close distance enough with the networks. The network, not just the network, but PBC in general, breaking the news. We have an internal fight going on with just information in general. The dissemination of information. We have an internal war going on just with this that don't have anything to do with YouTube. This is what I'm saying. News was somewhat break, Coppinger, whoever. I'm not mentioning all their name. They break the news and shit. Floyd come behind them. No, don't do that. Okay, you can't say Floyd fucking around and don't know what he's talking about. If nothing else came over the top to diffuse what he was saying. You know what I'm saying? To debunk it. Boom, nothing happened. So information comes out again. Floyd didn't immediately respond. And then, he comes out. He tells Fight Hype what he tell him. Now, you have to pay attention to what happened previously. He told y'all it's not done. It's nowhere close. Stop putting up false information. There's been no information outside of what Floyd said to basically question, is he telling the truth or not? So now we come full circle, right? We haven't heard anything for us to go make reservations. Nothing. We're stuck on negotiation. When I seen all these people jumping on panels talking about, hey, the fight's gonna happen. All these motherfuckers are doing is looking for November 9th. They heard November 19th. They said, that's it. That's it. They ain't worried about the contracts. They'll try to argue down on a damn panel about the contract, who deserved what, but they're not even considering the fact, is the contractual agreement between both fighters done? If so, where did you hear it from? If you're just going off whatever you want to talk about from some other source on YouTube, no, I need more than that. Is there anybody else has been talking about these contracts are completed? I want to hear, is completed. Both fighters have signed. We have a fight. That never came out. So they couldn't really put all the information out for people to go ahead and make reservations. So if Toby, if you're saying that people could have already booked up now, you're absolutely right. We could have already made those reservations, you know what I'm saying, and did ourselves justice ahead of time, proactively, got our bank accounts right, got our kids in order. Those of you who's going to go out there, whether you was going to, take your kids or not, whatever the case, bro, it still requires planning. So I never would have basically hopped on the train with this information and try to ride that bitch to the destination, not even having that information, that criteria, signed, sealed, delivered. I never heard about it. I never heard it was completed. People speak English and shit all the time, but English is a deceptive language, man. Especially if it's your first language. English is deceptive, bro. And there's people old enough to understand how to place language out here and for it to deceive the viewers. You can listen to English and hear somebody tell you the fight, if you haven't heard, a date of November 19th is supposed. Now, suppose doesn't define anything. Should. November 19th, should. Should doesn't define anything. November 19th, will defines. Will shuts down and narrow the gap of uncertainty. It narrows it. Will. November 19th will be the fight date for Crawford Spence. It will. It cleans it up. It cleans it up. And we haven't heard that. We haven't heard it. A lot of other people know we haven't heard it. Then guess what? I'm just trying to help you out. What's going on, Pop? But I'm not going to go too far in depth. I just know some videos that's been out there about, Stephen Espinosa saying that, bro, you got to understand, just because he is who he is in the position he is, the hocus pocus goes for many, many levels, man. You just ask yourself, just like Toby just said, ask yourself, bro, if they want to maximize profits and revenue on this fight, and the big deal with Spence, with Crawford not getting guaranteed money and all that, and Spence supposed to be getting a lion's share. So they're trying to fuck over Spence too. They're trying to fuck him over too. Seriously. They just trying to drop this fight at the last minute and fuck him out his money too, huh? They just trying to all around. How are they going to make money? How are they going to maximize profits on one of the biggest fights by dropping this date at the last fucking minute and thinking people are going to show up? People are going to be scrambling. Oh my God, I got to make it happen. It's not going to happen, bro. And I'm going to leave y'all with that right there, man. Turn up and tune in to World Combat Sports. We'll talk again. I'm out.